Hello and welcome to this presentation. My name is Hamza and I am here as your instructor to help guide you through the model installing CentOS 7. As we run through this, we are going to be taking a look at how we can download the ISO files and go through to the CentOS website. While we're looking at the different media types, the different ISO files it's available and what they contain. We'll be looking at networking within our virtual environment that we're using, VirtualBox. We will be looking at installing from DVD as well as installing in different ways from the network. We will be installing from a local server, but if you don't have that set up, don't worry, we can also show how you can install from mirror servers on the internet network. We will be looking at adding into GUI the X server desktop. We will be installing both of our servers as minimal install, so being text only. We are going to add to it then the graphical environment to one of our servers, specifically the exam objective that we are looking at here. Are going to be installing Linux from physical media, installing Linux from the network as well as installing Linux into a virtual disk. Reality is installing into a virtual disk is just installing, so it happens to be that we are installing into a virtual environment. In any case, we are going to have a separate course looking at the Linux virtualization, where we can start looking at some of the hypervisors that are available within our pure Linux environment. There will be more on installing Linux later. At the moment, we're just getting up and running with Linux, so we can look at the basic objective. But later on, we will be looking at answer files, quick start, and PIX installation. And we are going to cover this in LFCS Red Hat 7 Service Management course. When we go to CentOS.org, we can look up the available downloads and we can get absolutely everything. The everything DVD, so there is about 7 gig or just over 7 gig, and that's everything. The CentOS repository provides, so certainly we could download that. More normally, we can get to full installation DVD, which is about 4 gig. So that has everything that can be installed during the installation. We also have a minimal install, and this is more CD size at around about 600 meg. And that's enough then for a minimal install of CentOS 7. But as we look on the website, we can actually go through to other location, more hidden on the site. We can get down to as small as about 10 mega for a pure net installation CD. We're going to start running through some demonstration now. We will start seeing how this is going to work, and we will be looking at download our ISO files. So we be going to the CentOS site and just identify the different locations that we can download from. We will be looking at our VirtualBox networking and the networking structure that we're going to use. We will be looking at installing CentOS 7 from local media as well as from the network, and we will look from the network. We will be using our local web server, but we say don't worry, if that is not available, we can also look at download from mirror site. We can be working with CentOS 7.2, and this is the URL where we can download from the network. Both of installs that we will carry out will be minimal installs of CentOS 7, so this is quite quicker. And again, in exam scenario, if we just need CentOS 7 up and running, it's far better that we install the minimum amount and add then the exact service that we need later. It's going to be far quicker installing a minimal version of CentOS 7 than it is. Let's say a complete desktop version of CentOS 7. We can add the X server and GUI later, should we want it. but we're going to be doing that through the server 1. So we're going to have a server 1, then we'll have the GUI, and we're going to have server 2 that will be command line only. It's more important to server 1 that we have the GUI, but we will be adding in a VirtualBox guest addition to driver and services for our VirtualBox that we can add in. This will allow things like cut and paste from our host into the virtual machine. It will allow for our host guest file so we can share out our host file system, making it available through the virtual machine, as well as additional drivers to make networking in the screen more usable. So when you're ready, we shall begin.